Hey everybody, how's it going? I've had some stuff come up today, so I'm gonna have to keep this really short. And so if there's anything that you have that you need to cover today, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna just have to cancel for today. So let me know. I mean, I'm happy to cover anything that you need to today, though, if you have something. So feel free to chat or come off mute if you want to. And Eden, I know that this is your first time, so welcome. Welcome to the group. Do you have a microphone on your end?
Hi, I think I do. I'm still trying to learn how all this works.
No, you're fine. I can hear you. You can do video too if you want to. How's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And you're working with Chillicothe, is that right?
Hardy's Memorial, Chillicothe Monument, same thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, sorry to have to be short for today. Is there anything on your end that you want to cover?
I don't know if this is like a easy right now thing, but right now I am trying to put musical notes on a headstone, and I am still learning a lot. So I'm a little overwhelmed with this.
Oh, that's understandable. So let me just show you really quick. Let me pull it up and I will share my screen. Now, are you looking for where to find musical notes? Are you wanting to draw musical notes? Is it something you want specific?
Probably draw them, because I looked through all of the artwork that we had in the files and nothing really is matching a whole lot.
Okay. Okay. Do you have reference?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want me to just like hold it up and show it to you, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Just show me what you got here.
And she kind of just wants the first chunk of up here.
Okay.
But.
And she wants you to put all those notes exactly the way they are on the staff and everything?
That was the way we understood it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will, let me show you really quick, okay? And then I'll let you play around with it. And then if you get stuck, let me know and we can get together personally later if that works better.
Okay. And I don't need it exact, like I just need a rough idea to start, you know what I mean?
Sure. No, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you real quick to get this where it's going to go. Then Derek, did you have anything that you needed to cover today? And Macy also. And Macy, do you have a microphone?
I do, and yeah, I didn't have anything specific for today.
Okay.
Cameron, I don't have anything specific. If you are short on time, I could help Eden with that, because I've done something similar on a monument before.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Well, I'll show you really quick what I would do. And then Derek, if you want me to show her what you would do too, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Macy, remind me what company you're with. My brain's not working today.
Liberty Monument Company, but we haven't actually opened yet. We're in the process of getting things open. So we hope to be open by, sometime next year, maybe awesome. February, something like that.
Awesome. Exciting. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen there?
Yep.
Okay. So musical notes. Eden, would you be putting them like across the top of the stone? You're going to be putting them on the bottom. Do you know how big your stone shape is?
Yeah, so it is 24 by 20 and it's going on the back.
Okay. So the first thing that I would do is I would use Shape Builder and build my shape. Okay. So you said 24 by 20? And then how does that have a base?
Yeah, it's 36 by 6.
Okay, so I'd build my shape first. Okay, since it's going on the back, I would usually grab everything and make a copy of it. I like to make copies just by dragging the original. I'll hold Control while I drag, and then I'll also right click. So I've got Control clicked and a right click of my mouse. I right clicked and released. I'll release the left mouse button first, and then I will release Control. That way I've got a copy of the original in line with the original. That way I can work on the front side here, and then I'll work on the back side here. And then I would usually use, so in Corel 2021.5 that they just came out with, they changed the name of the content. It used to be Connect content, or before that there was the Connect browser and a bunch of Connect named Dockers. And they've now changed it to assets. So in my version, it's going to say assets. In older versions, it would be connect content. And that's where I have the majority of my artwork just kind of set up. So I've got it already to where I can, click on different things here. But normally if I'm searching for something specific, I just come up to the top and I'd say notes, like music note. So just search for note, N-O-T-E. And then that's going to pop up over here, the different clip art that I have available that has music notes on it. And so I'd look for something that's, similar to what you're already doing, maybe like this. So I just drag and drop that over. Maybe the first one, drag and drop that one over. We can see which one of these works better for our needs. And this one's a little bit more stylistic as far as going up and down and that sort of stuff. So typically what I would do is I'd go and find something that, might work, and then I'd work off of that. And so that's probably a good start right there. If you don't have stuff in your Docker over here, you can always go to import. And by going to import, it can let you go to wherever your artwork is located at. So under documents, there should be a Memorial Designer folder, and then there should be a classic collection folder there. And then under designs, this is where all the individual designs are at. And again, you can still do a search. So up here in the upper right hand corner, you could do a search for notes or note and hit enter. And then it will populate the same kind of list as to what's available. In this kind of dialog, because we're not dragging and dropping, you might be able to drag and drop if you've got it kind of off to the side. No, it doesn't let you drag and drop out of this dialog. So you would either, choose them individually and import them, or you can click, if we were to do the same ones, we could click on the number, hold control and click on the next one. And that's going to do a multi-select. So I'm just holding control to select all three of those. And then when you click on the import button, it will ask you to place them somewhere. I usually don't click and drag because that's going to resize. So I'm just going to click somewhere to place them. And I usually don't place them on top of each other because then they're, in the way. So I'll just click, click, and click, and that will then throw those down as well. So different ways to get into your designs. I like the assets Docker just because it's, there and easy to drag and drop stuff from. The third way you can get to your files is if you're just in Windows Explorer itself. You don't even have to be inside Memorial Designer, and you would get to your files the same way. So you just go to, wherever your designs are located. And if they're the classic collection designs, are going to normally be in your documents folder, Memorial Designer, classic collection. And again, if I search for note, I can go that way, or I would have to browse through, where they're going to be located, which is probably under occupation and hobby, and then music. If I can't see them, I can right click, go to view and say extra large icons. And then that way it's going to give me a bigger view of what they are. And because this is just Windows Explorer here, I can drag and drop from here. So I can just drag from there and drop over to here. And that's usually the easiest. Otherwise, you're going to have to open them up individually, which isn't really what you want to do. So if you're using the Windows Explorer, I would just drag and drop. But it's nice because you can have this on a second monitor, for instance, if you use multiple monitors, and then you can, be searching for your artwork on one and dragging it over to the other. So those are the three different ways that I go about finding existing pieces. And more often than not, for something like this, I'm going to work with something that's existing and just edit it, as opposed to completely draw it from scratch. Because if I've already got pieces that will, that I'll be able to work with, it's going to take me less time to do that than it would be to do something else. So this one, if we look at it, it is a group of objects that actually are separated from everything else. Okay, so if we ungroup it, we can get to those individual pieces. So it might be a good one to start with. These ones, let's see what these ones are. If we hit V to go to the wireframe, they're already welded together. So those are a little harder to separate. And this one is, it's got it so that the treble clef here is welded, but the rest of the notes are not. So if we ungroup those, then we can move these pieces around like that. So one of these would be probably the one that I'd start with, either this one or that one, depending on, you know, if they want it to look like your sheet music or whether you're just trying to make it look a little fancier. Sounds like they want it to look like your sheet music though, so I'd probably start with, you know, something like this. Does that make sense so far, Eden?
Yeah, it does. Yes.
Okay, so if this is going on the back of the stone, you want to show me again really quick the notes and stuff?
Yes, give me just
So
a second.
if it
I moved
were
everything
me,
around.
if it were me, what I would do is I would take the sheet music and I would either scan it in or I'd take a picture of it somehow to get it into your computer. Usually I'd scan it. Import that sheet music into the drawing so that I could work over the top of it. That way I, you know, have all the notes the right way.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you have a scanner, do you have a scanner?
Mhm.
So inside CorelDRAW, if you go to File and Acquire Image, if you select your source first, then it pops up the option to choose a scanner. And then if you choose your scanner and then go back to Acquire and say Acquire, what that'll do is it will go and scan whatever's on your scanner. I doubt I have anything on my scanner, but if I were to scan it, it would go ahead and do a scan and then import that right into the image for me. And I don't even know if I have my scanner set up. It says it's scanning, so we'll see what happens. I'll probably just scan blank. Okay, so as soon as it's scanned, I just click and it'll drop that down. Again, there's nothing on my scanner bed, so it's not going to do anything. But I would normally, you know, kind of scan that in. So you're going to have on your scanned image a bunch of music, you know, something like this, right? But it's going all the way across. So I would take my scanned image and usually, you know, kind of position it to where I want it to be. And you can also use this crop tool up here if you want to just crop out the part that you want. So if you just go maybe from here to here and double click to crop that out and get rid of these alignment guides. I don't really like them. Then you can crop to what you really want and go like that, make it big. And then just start working over the top of it. So I would take maybe this design that is, you know, has this in pieces, put it down there. Again, pretending like this is something to work over the top of. I would just stick this over the top of that, start working on it. This itself, you can make longer if you grab these end pieces, the end nodes. I'm going to hold shift and click on this so I can grab all of these, and then I can just drag them all over. Holding control, I'll just grab them all, click and drag on one of them all the way across. So then my staff goes all the way across. And then these notes, I'm just going to place them on, you know, on there wherever I need them to be. And so I would come in here and maybe hit control there and maybe on the line, you know, wherever they're supposed to be. And then if I've got a vertical bar I need to do, I could simply draw a bar the same size as the existing one and click to rotate it. Holding control, it'll constrain it to a straight line. So I will just grab it like that and put it up here and pull that way. And you don't have to worry too much about that bar being overlapping. I mean, we can weld that all later before you cut it. I wouldn't worry about that too much. You're just going to put the bars wherever you need them, right? So you'd put your bars where you need them. And then if your notes, if you don't like the tails and stuff on the notes, you could use your shape tool to come in here and grab all these extra nodes and shapes that you don't need and just delete them using delete on the keyboard. And then this big old curve will change that to a straight line. And that way it's straightening that out. So you can take that note now and now you got a straight note. If you need to, you can flip it upside down. You can flip it left to right. So you can arrange these notes however you need to on that staff.
Okay, cool. That definitely made it a lot simpler. I really appreciate that.
So you can definitely go through all the trouble of redrawing everything and drawing from scratch, but I think if you use existing pieces, you'll be able to do it faster.
Yes, I was redrawing it from scratch, and it would just seem like I was not. It was working, but I felt like I could probably do it in a smarter way than I was.
Yeah, so I'd give that a shot and see if that works for you. If not, like I said, feel free to ask, and I can help you out. And Derek, if you have something different or want to show her something different, feel free to chime in. Or if you even have the one that you have worked on already.
Yeah, I have two of them actually. One was just kind of decorative. It wasn't in a specific order. And there was another one that a client wanted in a specific order for the song Smoke on the Water. I was not familiar with it, but first I looked up the sheet music because they did not have it. And after I created the space with the names and all that, I just kind of went with how I felt the flow went with it. So I decided if I wanted to make the lines kind of wavy or anything like that. And what I did is I tried to scale everything with single lines. And then after they were in their place, anything that was a single stroke, make the contour to .045. And that way, since it's going in both directions as a single open line, it'll cover it on both sides with 0.045. So in total, it'll end up having 0.09.
You're using the contour tool for that?
Right. And you can also use just the regular line tool. And when you follow it up with 0.045, it makes it look like a single blastable line that is a uniform 0.09. Now, it has its limitations as to size because once you go very, very small, the notes will not look like notes anymore if they get too small.
Right.
But it kept everything looking very uniform. And also, if you're looking for specifically the treble clef, if you're wanting a special looking one, you can look up a vector image of it and just convert it. And once you do that, if it's really rigidy, you can smooth that out manually. And it shouldn't be too much trouble. It sounds really complicated at first, but I would recommend making one series of lines, just the graph for the musical notes, and then place the musical notes onto it so you can make sure that everything is uniform the way you like. And then after you do it, when it's ready to go to the plotter, just combine them all and then trim wherever you need to make sure everything is combined.
Thanks, Derek. There are, just so that you're aware, there are some newer drawing tools too. There's this thing called parallel drawing. So if I went to let's just say the freehand tool and come up to parallel drawing here, it pops up a parallel drawing toolbar. And then I can say I want to do 5 lines. Okay. Then as I draw, actually, I need to step back. I want it to do what's it called? Draw them while I draw. That's what I need. So this little button here will make it so that as I draw, it's going to go that way. And this is how much space you want between each of the lines. So as I draw this, you'll see it actually draws parallel lines. So if I wanted to space them out, let's say 1/2 inch, right? I can type in 1/2 inch and then I can draw like this. And that will then let you draw the whole staff like really fast and easy. And then usually Derek mentioned using contour. You can do contour for sure, but I do have a button up here, line width, that's already set to be a 0.09 inch thick line. And so if you click that, it just applies an outline to it. And so then all of these are going to be the size that you want. So, you know, if it was like a SERP top monument or something, you could, if you wanted to match more the SERP with the stone, then you could come in here and, you know, draw, I don't know, whatever you wanted to do, but so.
Okay, cool. I think that should also make it a lot easier.
Yeah. And yeah, as Derek said too, there is I mean, for music, there's got to be a ton of clip art online too, that if you really needed to go and find and bring it in. So if we went to Google and let me just log in here. Let's just do a search for music clip art. And if you do, I mean, you can look for vectors. Vector, if it's already in vector, then you don't have to do any tracing, right? So if you click on these, there might be some existing, you know, free stuff that you can download. Totally up to you if you want to go searching for other stuff, but
Yeah, absolutely. I will play around with it and see what I can manage. And if I end up needing more help, I will absolutely reach out.
yeah, awesome. Cool. All right. Well, sorry to cut it short for today, but I do need
No
to
worries.
run. Next week is Thanksgiving. So we're actually going to not be around on Friday. And so we will not have our next meeting until December the 3rd. So just so that you're all aware, we'll be off next week and back for the 3rd. So I hope you guys all have a good Thanksgiving next week, and we will see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks. You too. It was nice meeting y'all.
You too. Good to have you.
Have some good holiday.
You too. Bye.